What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host and longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champion of all time, the hot commodity Ant C, and joined by my good friend and co-host who's going to be, his birthday is coming up soon. So shout out to early birthday to him, but introduce yourself, sir.
Thanks, Chris. I was at Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
Waste my fucking time. I
that's
saw
how I felt when I went to a smack.
the
You saw what?
same show 3 months ago.
Yeah, a lot of the card. I mean, with this show going down
I
to
saw
2 hours,
Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus 3 times this year.
yeah, they fought again this week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. When's this shit gonna end? If
I thought,
I saw them at a live show back in March. They came to Raw again in June when I went, and then this Monday they had another match.
I I thought with Raw going down to 2 hours, it was going to be more jam packed, more stuff happening, but it's been a lot of
Not
nothing.
much to do right now. There's no Punk, there's no McIntyre, there's no nobody.
Mhm.
He's doing his thing on fucking. They're champion. They're doing the crown jewel champion. The road to War Games is going to be good, but here's the problem about Raw is that the biggest story and the only War Games match is on SmackDown. That's where the story is. So if they're going to do a women's one, they have to find a good Raw. I don't know.
I don't know because right now there's really not a lot of women on Raw that are. It's just been Liv and Rhea.
She's so desperate for her right now.
Yeah. Well, Raw is live, like you said, in your area, Hershey, Pennsylvania, on October 28th, 2024. We kick off Raw with Jey Uso coming out to the ring. Jey says, I lost my Intercontinental title, was involved in the Bloodline family drama, and I went to SmackDown and cost them the tag championships. The only Uso I want to talk to knows who he is, and that's when Jey's brother Jimmy comes out. Jimmy says, I want to thank you for what you did on SmackDown because we need to be together to take down Solo and his bloodline. Jey says, we ain't the ones either. Last time we were together was at WrestleMania and we were fighting each other. I became champion by myself, just me, Oos. None of that tops being your twin brother, though. This goes around. This go around, we ain't nobody's yes men. We grown men. We do it together. You be Jimmy, I be Jey, and we be the Usos. Jimmy says the OTC will be on SmackDown. Come through and squash the beef. Jey says I'll be there. And then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa attack. Jacob Fatu and Solo come out. Solo super kicks the Usos. But then Jey ends up hitting Jacob Fatu with a steel chair. And the Usos land super kicks to all three of the Bloodline members. Uh, sorry, all four, sends them out of the ring. Quick thoughts on this opening promo.
This was cool. I kind of enjoyed it. It was really um why the fuck is this happening? Anyway, sorry. Seeing these guys come out because I've never seen like we saw Jay last time, but I never saw like Jimmy and all them. So it was cool, good opening segment. I personally thought this should have been the main event, considering how boring the fucking show was.
I agree. We're going to take our first break. I know it's early in the show. We'll be right back and we'll be covering the rest of Monday Night Raw and getting Christian's thoughts as he was there live. Stay tuned. All right. So next up here on Raw, we see Adam Pearce telling Dominik Mysterio that the former world champion he'll be fighting tonight is Damian Priest. And Dominik tells the Judgment Day to stay backstage for his match. I know you're a big Damian Priest fan. I'm actually turned into a big Damian Priest fan myself.
Yeah, I'm the original Damian. Everyone online is now Damian Priest fans, which I'm happy. I'm actually happy that you guys are seeing his talent. So
Yeah, I remember I really enjoyed the first time that I really saw Damian Priest was he had a match against Finn Balor at a takeover, and they really had a good match, and that was my first. But I do like this badass Damian Priest, so I'm excited for what's next for him. We're going to talk about this match really quick because we've seen this a million times, like you mentioned before. Ludwig Kaiser taking on
Oh, I
Sheamus.
don't want to talk about
Yeah, Kaiser lands a spinning clothesline, a baseball drop kick to the floor. Sheamus lands 10 beats, a flying clothesline for a two. And then Sheamus lands a high knee, and Sheamus defeats Ludwig Kaiser for what seems to be, like you said, like the seventh time. We didn't really need to talk about this because nothing comes from this. Um, we get a promo from Rhea Ripley next. Rhea says the difference between you and I, Raquel, is you betrayed me with malice and ego. Everything I did to you and Liv was deserved. I only want one thing, my title, and you're going to have to kill me to stop me. So strong words there from the former champion Rhea Ripley, and we are recording this after NXT, so we can say that Rhea Ripley did get injured again at the NXT show by Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and she's going to be out for quite a bit. But now that we know that she's out, does this promo hold anything now, or?
It's hard because I mean, there were supposed to rumors where they were supposed to have the match at Saudi. So who knows? But I definitely think I don't know. Like I, I like that they made Raquel heel, but the problem is I don't want it to be like Liv where it's a forced heel. Like now, like Raquel, like she's been this sweet baby face for so long.
Yeah.
It's like how can she transition to a heel? She's not like a Bianca who can do it because she's done it before.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when Raquel started, she was Dakota Kai's bodyguard in NXT. So, I mean, she's kind of going back to that old role that she had before she did her own thing and beat Io Shirai at Takeover. But in the beginning, she was helping Dakota Kai beat up Rhea. So, um, but yeah, I do see what you're saying. She's been gone for a while, and she really didn't give a lot of explanation as to why she's helping Liv, aside from the fact that Rhea took away their titles. But moving on, Sami Zayn would like to talk to Jey Uso alone backstage. Sami says, "Is everything cool now?" Jey says, "I know about Roman Reigns, but I think Solo is worse." Sami says, "Roman Reigns got in your head. You can just decide not to get involved. It's not your fight anymore." Jey says, "Well, you wouldn't understand because you're not family." And Sami looks upset with that. And we'll talk later on about Sami more. But
Yeah,
do you
that was
think Jey
interesting.
has a point here? It's like, why are you involved? I get it. He was part of the original Bloodline, but again, like what I don't like about WWE is like Sami Zayn himself has been screwed over by Kevin Owens so many times, and storyline they've always been able to come back together for some reason. I don't understand why Sami can't look past the fact that yeah, Roman fucked with everybody, but Solo he hasn't done worse, but he wants to do worse. So it's like, do you go after the enemy you know or the enemy you don't know? And I think it's dumb. I think Sami will side with Roman eventually, but I think we're just seeing him trying to put stuff in Jay's head. So what do you think?
This kind of shocked a lot of people. I definitely feel like it was interesting to see. Uh, because eventually Jimmy and Jay are like, what the hell, man? Like, holy shit, man. Two at a time. You must be stressing in life.
I'm covering Raw and we're talking about Sami Zayn and the Bloodline and fucking Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. So I am very over this nonsense of a
I hear
long
you,
term
man.
story
I
now.
hear you. I hear you. No, but it was okay. I mean, I don't think Sammy's gonna side with Solo. Um, it's just a way to get some teas in, but
Mhm.
I think that they did. If Sammy is healed, I wonder how that would play out.
Yeah, we'll get there. We then get a promo from World Champion Gunther. Gunther says, Cody Rhodes, the gutless champion. Once again, you dragged people into your business. You envy Randy Orton. On SmackDown, it's you and Randy Orton versus myself and Ludwig Kaiser. Ask Orton how it feels to be choked out. Pretty soon it will happen to you, and you will realize you're a secondary champion to me. Strong words from someone who's probably going to lose. And it's a shame because if you're really going to book it, Gunther should be beating Cody Rhodes. Who he might, though. Owens might show up later on and fuck over Rhodes, but I don't think Cody needs to be the crown jewel champion right now. I think Gunther, especially with him, like he's been winning, but he hasn't really been able to do anything really these past couple of months. So I think Gunther needs to win this. But any thoughts?
He's not. He's not gonna win it. We know he's not gonna win it.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, we'll talk about SmackDown when we cover it, but Kevin Owens might be coming after Rhodes at Crown Jewel. So next up, we have Zelina Vega with LWO taking on Ivy Nile with American Made. Zelina slaps Ivy Nile to start and lands a meteor off the apron to the floor. Julius Creed holds Zelina Vega and they attack the LWO members outside, and that allows Ivy to land a spinning Uranagi to Zelina Vega, and Ivy gets the win. Thoughts?
I went to the bathroom.
No? Well, I'm a big Zelina Vega fan. I forgot how much I
went to the bathroom, so I didn't see it.
The bathroom break. We see Jey Uso backstage. He feels bad for what he said to Sami. We then see Seth Rollins come out. Seth says, I'm on the hunt for a monster. Bronson Reed is a monster, but so am I. Bronson woke something up in my soul and reminded me of what I'm capable of, and I kind of like it. At Crown Jewel, and then Bronson Reed shows up on the Titantron. He's backstage in the parking lot. Bronson says, if you want to hunt a monster, I'm right here in the parking lot. Seth says, don't move, big man. Seth goes to the line. He fights with Bronson, and Bronson tosses Seth onto a car. Seth hits Bronson Reed with a truck door and lands a stomp off a crate onto the hood of the car. Bronson gets up, though, and tosses a can at Seth Rollins, and then Bronson lands a DVD off the truck to Seth Rollins through a table. And these men have been throwing everything at each other, but it looks like Seth Rollins doesn't have the advantage heading into Crown Jewel. What did you think about this big brawl?
This was cool. This was cool. Bronson Reed in June when he came, he did what's it called? He did the main event, like the show right before Raw. So we didn't see much of him. So it's cool to see him. I think this is a burner feud for Seth. Just think small to get him ready for like maybe something else with McIntyre. Well, we gotta see.
I agree. But I do like the build-up so far.
I don't think this feud's gonna go far after this.
No, they'll probably fire Crown Jewel and that will be it. Maybe Survivor Series. We see R-Truth talking to Alpha Academy. The Miz apologizes to R-Truth and says he needs a family. R-Truth punches the Miz and says, good luck with the Wyatts. Y'all gonna die. That was pretty funny. We then see a number one contender triple threat match. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the War Raiders versus New Day. Dragon Lee lands a flying double stomp to Kofi. Ivar powerbombs Kofi and Dragon Lee dropkicks Kofi to the floor. Dragon Lee lands a sit-out powerbomb to Kofi for a 2. Kofi lands a backbreaker. Xavier Woods goes after Rey Mysterio instead of going for his finisher. Chad Gable then puts an ankle lock on Rey Mysterio on the floor. And then the War Raiders land a springboard clothesline German combo. And the War Raiders will take on Judgment Day for the World Tag Titles. What are your thoughts?
I kind of think that, okay, so I didn't, hold on 1 second. I feel, okay, so this match doesn't do much. I mean, there's not really a real, who are the tag team Oh yeah, Finn Balor and
JD McDonough.
I think unless they're gonna give one of these tag teams a fucking title match, why have it? It was really dumb. I
I
didn't pay too much attention to this match, and it kind of sucks that I'm reviewing this because it's like for me being in the arena, I have like a different perspective. So it's like, I mean, I didn't really pay too much attention.
mhm. Yeah. I thought this was a decent tag match though, but it was just used so Chad Gable could attack Ray and for Xavier to fuck up with Kofi. Um, we see Karrion Kross threatening the Miz backstage, saying to better find Bo Dallas or Karrion will break the Miz's legs. We then see Sami. He's backstage talking to Solo Sikoa inside a car, and the Usos see this happen. They don't look happy. I think, like you said, I think this is a red herring. I really don't think Sami is going to be working with Solo. I think this is a way to kind of get Sami to look like the bad guy, and then he's going to join forces with Roman and the Usos, and everything's going to be happy. But our main event here, we've got Dominik Mysterio versus Damian Priest. Dominik attacks Damian from behind to start the match. Priest tosses Dominik into the railing. Priest then lands a headbutt and a face buster. Priest then pounces Dominik over the announce table. Carlito and JD McDonough run out and attack Damian, but Damian hits both of them with a steel chair. And then he hits Carlito with a chair again. However, Dominik rolls up Damian, holds the tights, and Dominik Mysterio defeats Damian Priest and will get a title shot eventually. However, after Damian lays out Dominik with a razor's edge and then hits Dominik in the back with a chair, and South of Heaven to Carlito, and Raw goes off the air with Damian Priest standing tall. What are your thoughts?
It was cool, but it's like the last like 3 months ago when they came to Hershey, they ended Raw going off the air with Damian Priest standing tall. So it's like it. If I'm not looking at it like that, it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't do much. I mean, this I don't know why this was the main event.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Did it get you any more excited for Crown Jewel at all?
3 months ago, I was saying that SmackDown has me lost and that Raw was the better show. Now fucking Raw has me lost and now SmackDown's the better show.
Yeah.
And now that, but now Jey losing that makes sense, right? Because Jey he loses it and it just gives him a reason to join Roman in the like he said tonight. Spoiler alert, like he said tonight. That gave me a even more reason to want to do it. So
I agree. Well, decent episode of Raw. Nothing happened. I'm more excited to see the pay-per-view tomorrow night. So with that, we're going to end our coverage of Raw. We're going to give our SmackDown recap and then our Crown Jewel predictions. And then we'll have our Crown Jewel recap coming up. So until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.